Today we're going to visit Lieutenant General Hal Moore's Museum in Bardstown, Kentucky. Let's have a look around and see what we can see. When you first go in, you'll get to go to the left and you'll see the Revolutionary War area. You go to the right, that'll take you to where it shows the women's military uniforms, and also will lead you to the Women's Civil War Museum, which we featured on another video. If you've seen We Were Soldiers movie, they have a section here that's dedicated to Lieutenant General Hal Moore. He grew up in Bardstown, Kentucky, and they have a lot of his As you can see here, you have the West Point uniform and his service uniform. Here's some different pictures my wife took of the artifacts. I'll let you see them. Next, we'll move into the Civil War in Kentucky, and it talks about the differences of Kentucky being a border state. If you want more information, they have actually a Civil War museum that is really good and has an awful lot on the Western Campaign. Now we're moving into the Indian War period of the United States and the different items and rifles that was used during that time frame. This is a picture of Comanche, which is the only known horse to survive the Custer's Massacre, or Custer's Last Stand, as you want to call it. This here is a cavalry saddle. It was designed to be beneficial to the horses. It has a slot in the middle that allows it to let heat off the back of the horse. Very uncomfortable ride in. Talked about in the other Civil War video that we did. Now we're moving into the area for the Civil War, and like I said, there's a whole lot more in the Civil War Museum that we already featured and at their Civil War Museum. here is a Confederate medical officer's sword. And we move into the area dedicated to the Spanish-American War, which then made Theodore Roosevelt very famous as Rough Riders, and he became United States president after that. Now we'll head into the World War I area, and they had a large selection of World War I items, from artillery shells and things like that. And they had a neat model biplane hanging up from the ceiling. On this wall here, they had a place where you could test your knowledge and see if you can match the names with the faces. Of course, I didn't do very well at that. Here we see a few examples of what's called trench art, where they take shells and make things out of. And here's a cannonball round that was painted up. Those are kind of interesting to see. This section here is dedicated to World War II, and they had a large selection here also. A lot of uniforms, military weapons, and things like that. This here's a Japanese World War II aviator's bomber flight jacket and suit. Here we can see the Japanese military equipment and flag. There's also the officer's uniform in the back. This here's a Japanese aviator's flight suit. Then we have the American flight suit. Here we have a nice little area dedicated to the Korean War. Here we have some American machine guns, and you'll see a Geiger counter coming up here on the left. As we get into the Vietnam War area, they have a nice setup there dedicated to the POWs, and give you a little bit of feel how the jungle warfare was. The display area for the more modern time warfare and conflict is not as big, but it is a very nice collection. You see the modern day uniforms and things like that. You would think in modern day warfare that soldiers wouldn't have to ride horseback like they did, but there we have it. As we scan through and finish up there, we hope you enjoy the video. There's a whole lot more there to see than what I could possibly put down on video. This is the last of the 4 museums that we went to. This is very impressive considering it's all really one museum in 4 different places. Getting in Bardstown, take a look at it, and I hope you enjoy the video. Like and subscribe. Thank you.